Mom and Dad on August 17th, 2009. And I've been wanting to do a little family video with you for quite a while, and we're finally getting around to it. So your Odyssey has taken you all the way down to Oceanside, California now, and you've been here, is it 7 years now?
7.5 years.
Okay. We're going to get into a little bit from when you first met on, and hopefully pick up in other points in time and a couple more subsequent interviews. But let's talk about where you were in life when you met, your age for both of you, career, how you met, and your first impression with each other. So how old were you both when you met?
I was 25.
20. Just turned 20.
Okay. And where were you in life when you met?
We were in Chicago, and I was working for the Harris Trust and Savings Bank after graduating from the University of Illinois. And Barbara, you were?
I was sent to Chicago with the airlines, United Airlines, and we both lived in the same apartment hotel, the Commonwealth.
Which we saw a couple years ago, and
yes, that was fun.
I'll probably mix that into this video. And Dad, how long have you been out of college by that point in time?
I had been out of college 3 years
Okay.
when we met.
And Mom, you were in Westchester State earlier, and you left to pursue being a airline stewardess?
Well, actually, I had finished 2 years at Westchester, and I needed money to finish school, full-time work. And so I was on my way to 69th Street. My mom had given me references for a bank there, and I didn't want to work in a bank. And it went through my head that friends said that United and TWA were interviewing in a hotel in Philadelphia. So I took another trolley car, and lo and behold, I got hired. Surprise. And next thing I know, my mom's saying, "What are you going to do?" But my Uncle Rudy, my godfather, saved the day. He said, "Rita, she'll be all right."
And at that point in time, that was kind of a way to see the world. It was kind of a glamorous thing for women of your age, late teens, early 20s, right?
Well, the jets had just come in. In high school, a lot of my friends were interested in becoming airline stewardesses. But then the jets came in, and they were hiring big time when I got hired.
Okay. So how did you meet?
Oh, well, like Barbara said, we both lived in the Commonwealth Hotel in the near north side of Chicago. And my roommate, Gene Honeyman, met Barbara's roommate, who was also a Gene and Jeannie. And they dated, and he came home one day and he said, Jeannie's got 4 good-looking roommates. And they decided that we might be a good match, and so one night I just called Barbara and asked her if she was free, and we met on a blind date.
And how'd that first date go? What were your first impressions of each other?
Well, my first impression was she's attractive, and then I really thought she was different from any girl I had met. She was really interested in people. Never talked about herself. She was just really sincerely interested in people, and I was impressed.
And Mom?
I was thinking about our first date. I think we went to one of your favorite haunts. I wasn't very impressed with that.
Where was it?
The truth.
Where was it? Do you remember?
What was the name of it?
Well, it was the Old Town something in Old Town, in the north side of California, of Chicago.
I thought, he's not trying to impress me. But I did enjoy our date, and I could sense we had similar values.
And how long did you date before you got engaged?
Well, I don't know that we ever got engaged per se, but we dated for 2 months, and then Barbara informed me that she was transferring to Los Angeles. And in the process when she left, she wrote me a Dear John letter and talked about one of her other boyfriends and his family. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I did that.
Yeah, we did. And so she was gone from my life. I mean, gone. I mean, I lived in Chicago, she was in Los Angeles, and then I heard through the grapevine that she had transferred to Miami Beach. And by this time, I had left the bank and was in training to be a stockbroker. And then they sent me to New York City, and I lived in Greenwich Village for 6 weeks while I was in training. And one day, right out of the blue, Barbara called me at Eastman Dillon in New York. And I met her up at the St. Moritz Hotel, the southern end of Central Park, and we looked at it when we were there as a family there a couple years ago. And I just remember it seemed like it was a little strained because she was there and she was going to be gone again, and then she left and she was out of my life.
And how long had elapsed between first dating and connecting on this occasion?
That would have been about 4 months maybe.
Okay.
So I go back to Chicago then to start as a stockbroker, and then right out of the blue, Barbara called me again. She had a flight into Chicago, and I said, well, let's go out to dinner. And we went out to dinner, and
That time he did try to impress me.
and I thought to myself, I'm not going to let her get away this time. And she flew in 4 different times, and we went out. And then she invited me to come see her in Miami Beach, where she was living. And
At the urging of my landlady. I
Yeah.
think she was a matchmaker.
yeah, landlady gave me a nice room, and I don't even remember if she charged me even.
Right,
But
she-
so I went down to see her, and that's where I proposed.
Well, I have to tell you, it scared me in Chicago when I was based there when Dad started talking about marriage. And I really did like him, and if ever I did get married, he was the kind of person that I would choose. But marriage scared me, frankly. And I thought, you know, this isn't something everybody has to do.
Well, you were just a kid.
And besides, well, it wasn't just youth. I had the option of working out of Los Angeles, where I could be with my dad's family, the family that I didn't grow up with, and it gave me a wonderful opportunity to get acquainted with my grandparents, and I just totally enjoyed that part of my family.
How long were you there?
Just 7 months. As soon as I could get a transfer, I felt like the mission was accomplished, and I could move on and get to be with my favorite uncle, Uncle Pat,
Yeah.
in Florida.